Hi everybody, it's me, Miss Jessica lwhor, and we're back with another Jess Talk. And for today, we're doing 2024 Year in Review. I can't believe it's already here. Before we get into this video though, if you want to start off the new year the right way, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications. Come on now, become a little lwhor today. All right, 2024 Year in Review. Let's get into it.
Attention lwhor, attention lwhor, attention lwhor, attention. Here I am walking down the street, seeing all the boys trying to take a peek. Shorts pulled up and chest out right. Come on boys, just take a bite. Look but don't touch, spin it round and round. Crazy time.
Okay, so 2024, I thought that this year was definitely a top 3 years of my life. This was a great year for me. Even when I look back and I see some of the struggles, some of the harder moments throughout the year, the lessons learned, this year I felt the most overall aware of my surroundings. I felt most mentally focused on like building my self-confidence up, building my mental strength up, being nicer to myself, recognizing my feelings and managing them different. So mind, body, soul, I definitely felt more on it, even when I had really tough times. And I'd also say that this year I had some long stints of really, really rough times, and I was just working through it. Like, I've got this, time will pass, and that's really what showed up for me. So mind, body, and soul, definitely there, even in tough times. I would also say that career-wise, this was a top business year. I worked 568 events that I personally showed up and worked at. That doesn't include the things that I produced on the side, the extra things added or lost throughout the year. 568 for this year, which was less than last year, but work hard, work just as hard, play just as hard. I played so much this year. This is one of the first years I planned so much away time, so much vacation time and throughout the year, and just had a little bit more fun. This year, career-wise, I felt like every single month I checked a box. Something amazing happened every month. And I think the only way to go through the year and figure out the highlights and what I remember is I have to use my phone. I remember doing this before, and I have to start at the year, and I'm going to get memories, and I'm going to try to tell you and remember what I can recall from each of the months. So we kicked off the year, and I always love to see what the first photo of the year is. The first photo of the year is the end of New Year's Eve last year, and we rented out an Airbnb. We had all of our friends around a table and had a private chef that made food for us, and it was amazing. It's amazing. It's weird to see this photo a year ago and see faces that are no longer in this group, how faces have changed or expanded. Just everyone is themselves, but also so different. It's crazy to me. Let's continue throughout the month. I can already tell you right now, I took a lot of nudes in 2024, and I'm determined to count them and let you know how many I took in this year. But I took a lot of nude videos and photos. I was very body positive, like I always like to be. Let's see. We did at least one Ask a Queen a question every single month, which was really cool. Sometimes two. I got to be featured twice this year on Ghost Hunt TV, which was really cool. They're psychic drag queens drag artists here in Denver, and they go to different haunted places, and I got to be a guest twice. Some of the most fun experiences. Oh my goodness. We finished our lwhor's Lounge series at the beginning of the year as well, which is coming out. We're already building season 3, which is really, really cool. I went to the Bahamas, which was really cool, and volunteered with my partner's veterinary clinic. That was a really fun experience that I haven't ever done before. Our first vacation of the year. Got to go to a private island and ride a boat, like a private jet boat. I pulled tons of looks, stunted on these hoes in 2024. Look after look after look after look after look after look. In January, I was announced on the live list for South by Southwest. That was really cool as a featured artist to look out for in 2024. And baby, they weren't long. They weren't wrong. I produced the Diva Awards, one of the best Diva Awards, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I produced the 5th ever Diva Awards, the Drag Initiative and Variety Awards, and I was hoping that would be my last, and here I am planning the 6th annual Diva Awards. Probably the most amazing turnout that was at Meow Wolf, turned looks, best after party ever of all the years. It was truly iconic. But baby, are we there? Oh, we went to LA and raised a bunch of money for the Drew Project and Gun Violence is a Drag. Took over LA and Palm Springs. Went to Disneyland with my sisters Tiffany and Lulu. That was a riot. I have not laughed that hard ever. That was so much fun. That was Disneyland. Did a Britney event at Bounce Empire. That's crazy to think that was in March. Oh, yes. And then I get these photos. How could I forget? Yeah, March, we went to Texas as well for our South by Southwest conference where I got to host the showcase. We had our Meow Wolf production. That was pretty sickening. In April, at the beginning of April, I got into my huge car accident and got pulled out of my house and taken to jail. That's another JESS talk soon to come. Don't you worry. That pretty much was the highlight of April. Worked through it, continued to work. May went to Puerto Vallarta. We went to we went to Belize. That's right. You better Belize it. We went to Belize. It was an amazing trip. I got sun blisters for the first time in Belize. That wasn't fun. We did the Freshest Faces of Drag show. That was pretty cool. Worked with Cheer Colorado. That was really awesome. Man, I was booked, blessed, and busy. Officiated tons of weddings. Opened up new venue spaces. I did a merchandise photo shoot video release this year. That was pretty sickening. Completely redesigned and rebranded Jessica lwhor and came out with a brand new merchandise line that I'm really proud of and speaks me, and it's pretty fucking fabulous. Went to Puerto Vallarta, which I love. Can't get enough of it. Produced the first Drag Nation that had all local entertainers and the first Drag Nation that had every entertainer on the flyer. That was pretty cool to do this year. Made a lot of content, did 92 events in the month of June. That was a record for me, 92 events in June, the ones that I showed up for, not just the ones that I produced. That's more. Turning looks, promoting merch, killing it, keynote speaking, rainbow here, rainbow there, headlining Pride here, headlining Pride there, turning looks, Tina. This was the hardest year that I worked on my fitness journey. That was crazy. I really stuck with it almost every week for 5 days a week, sometimes doubles. Kind of went off the wagon towards the end of the year, but getting back on. I experimented with some of my identity stuff and decided to get on hormones to help figure out where the displacement was. That's another JESS talk, but hormones to try to decide my identity a little bit harder. Took a team of 10 individuals to Los Angeles and set up the most sickening booth setup at RuPaul's DragCon LA. Turned out as a local entertainer and fucked shit up. Ochre. We killed it. I worked hard. So fucking hard. Oh my gosh. I got to meet some other Drag Race entertainers. I got to work with Ashley Simpson. That was really sickening. Stayed at my first nude resort this year. I produced and headlined the pre-show opening for Hedwig and the Angry Inch. With an extended production. That was pretty awesome. I produced finally Colorado's Next Drag Superstar, a A-list warrior drag competition for the state. I watched one of my best friends get married this year, Juicy and Captain. So many great smiles. Added Krista Gunna officially. This was her first year as a lwhor, which was really exciting. Added Krista Gunna and lwhor to the family. I can't believe it hasn't even been a year since that happened, since the Gotcha Day. Went to Cancun with one of my best friends and had a little girls' trip escape, although they thought we were married the entire time, and totally straight here, you know. Went to Las Vegas to see John Summit. That was really fun, and we saw Aquaria perform in Vegas, me and my partner. Lots of bingos, lots of trivia, lots of looks. Oh my goodness. Tons of shows. Planned a birthday party. Got to see Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan. Partnered with a designer that's worked with Gaga and Kylie Minogue. Oh my gosh. Took a week off to go to Chicago to see my sisters. A year of work. Did an amazing photo shoot. Headlined Phoenix Pride. Did an amazing photo shoot with Scotty Kirby. And I feel like I'm just barely signed with a brand talent agency, added an additional member to my team this year for editing and production. Now I'm going to go off script. I'm like, what else did I do? Did so many things. I skinny dipped in the ocean in Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico for this first time. I hit 100K followers on TikTok. It's very likely that I could hit 100K on Instagram by the time this video airs. My podcast took off and had over 2,500 downloads. I auditioned for a show and I got on it, but it's not the show that you all think that it is. It's a very different show. We'll see if it happens. It's supposed to happen in February. I swear to God, I'm over it. I'm over it. Air this as a clip. Keep the mystery alive. What show could I be on? I spent 8 months of the year sober. That was interesting. 7 to 8 months of the year sober.
Eric Andre.
I was featured on Eric Andre on the Eric Andre show live. That was a whirlwind, wild, amazing experience. I got to meet legend Sherry Vine and work with her. I've always wanted to. She's someone I look up to as an artist.
You met French Stewart too.
I did meet French Stewart this year. He was a riot. He was very fun. He needs social media handles. This year was one of the best, like I said. All things considered, I was tested in ways that I've never been tested before. This year made me grateful for the people in my circle, in my life. I've never appreciated loyalty so much. This is the year that I felt most authentic to the person that I was. And my goal was to remove myself from situations where I wasn't allowed to be authentic in my response, in my words, in my actions. I put myself only in those situations this year. I worked really hard. I hustled this year. And it's a reminder that I'm like, well, how am I supposed to level up? Like, what's the thing? And every year I am leveling up as an artist in ways that I don't see others doing. It feels so incredible. This 2024 year only had one major death, was my grandma. I was thankful not to, in terms of my family, we had the passing of some of my very close sisters, Minaj and Amaya, who both passed away. It's crazy to think that happened just this year. I learned a lot about myself and my wants and my needs, my desires. I went through a lot of periods of self-doubt and self-rejection that ultimately were life lessons. I was reminded this year that I need to reconnect with family, and that I'm taking the family members that I have for granted for the time that I have with them. I learned that I should quit drag, but I can't. I can't do it at this point. I probably should. I'm sure there's many of you that want me to quit drag, but what if I've learned anything this year? It's that deadline's always going to be pushed back until somebody forces me to. It makes me want to work harder and expand more and shoot for the stars, even if nobody's looking at my star. I learned that a lot this year. A lot of self-celebration, a lot of team celebration. What are we leaving behind in 2024? sitting in unhappiness for long periods of time and recognizing that I have the control to change my attitude. And the difference is, I think sitting in unhappiness is important. I'm not telling people not to be unhappy by any means. I guess playing the victim a little bit. I caught myself, not often, which is not my character, but in moments, playing the victim card to unhappiness that I easily could control. And I want to leave that behind. I don't want to sit in unhappiness because I feel deserving of it, because I feel that it's the solution, or it's to guilt others because it's easier. If I'm sitting in unhappiness, I'm sitting in it because it's just a moment in life, not a feeding into what I have control to change. I want to center myself. I'm leaving behind being all over the place in 2024, and ideally would like to center myself a little bit more in 2025. And that's the first one that comes to mind. What else could I leave behind? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm really focused on. Oh my God, I'm bringing so much into 2025. I'm in my level up. I think this year was the level up phase. Now it's to execute. I believe that my years go in cycles when it comes to my career. 2020 was a year for leveling up. 2021 was execution, one of my most successful years. 2022, leveling up. 2023, executed, had an amazing year last year. This year, although just as amazing, was a leveling up year. A work hard year, find what I'm good at, like hone in on my craft, my attitude, my persona. Now it's to put it in to action. I know my brand, I know myself, I know my pillars, I know what I want to do and what I don't want to do. I'm ready to go into next year executing what I've learned this year and what I've been tested about. I'm ready to put into action. It's fire. It's gonna be fire next year. Unless the government fucks it up. That's the only little sprinkle of bullshit is the government. Well, everybody, that was my 2024 year in review. Chaos. I couldn't have asked for things to happen any differently this year. I absolutely am looking forward to 2025. And for every little lwhor that I met this year, every lwhor in the lwhordom, every person that has supported me throughout the year, from venues to my partner to my team, my fucking kick-ass team, to the fans, to the people that check in on me, the people that care, the people that come to my shows, the regulars. This is all a product of you. The chances, the opportunities, the love, the constant support, and just interaction. And I'm going to continue to do this as long as I can, and it's easier to do it with that support. Each year I'm reminded that as much as I am a bad bitch and can run a lot of things, I would be completely unsuccessful without the people behind me. Or not as successful, just wouldn't be the same. It was a good year. It's time to kill it next year. Tell me, what were your highs and lows of 2024? What are you leaving behind and taking into 2025? Until then, we'll see you next year. Bye.
I'm an attention lwhor. Can't help it, bitch. I'm an attention lwhor.